You know what I get asked ever so often? If I had to buy just one car for the rest of my life, what would that be? And money no object, it would be an F40. Yes, I would put a car seat in one and I would go and get groceries in one too if I had the option to. But if money was an object and if we were living in the normal world with normal issues and normal problems and normal bank payments, I'd probably end up getting an SUV because look, at the end of the day, as much as we are sedan or coupe people, the SUV just makes so much more sense, especially in India. And one of the auto groups that sticks out when you have to buy that everyday perfect car that does everything is the Volkswagen Auto Group or VAG. Now the SUV is something they've been pushing for really hard in India, and one of those all you ever need cars is the Volkswagen Tiguan, which is now updated, facelifted and even sharper. So is this all the car that you will ever need in your life? Well, before we get to that, let me remind you that if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and bell icon, you will be stuck driving a Chrysler PT Cruiser for the rest of your life, okay? Alright. End of lame joke, back to Tiguan business. I was a big fan of the way the pre-facelift Tiguan looked, and to be honest, this is sharper and even nicer and more rounded and more approachable as an SUV. New bumpers at the front and rear, new headlamps, taillights and grille, etc. And they're all in line with the new global design language, and they're all typically a VW design. Clean, fussless and honestly timeless. And it's pretty much the same story on the inside too. You've got a new digital instrument cluster, a new larger infotainment system, and a sensible, likable interior. And that's all you need. The only thing missing? Cool seats. That's a big negative in my opinion for the interior on the Tiguan. SUV's engine undergo a lot of stress both in city driving and on tough terrains, particularly during warm-up and in stop-start traffic, and of course while carrying heavy loads. Ordinary car oils may not be enough for your SUV, and that is why we recommend fully synthetic Castrol magnetic SUV for superior protection. Just one quick suggestion though, if you are going to get one of these and outfit it with a bunch of things that are aftermarket or from the VW accessory list, unless you're going to go to the Sahara or do cross-country expeditions every month, please do not get that. It isn't a very cool thing to add to your car. You aren't going to put skis in that or a snowboard, and honestly that just adds to aero drag. Look, I know that some people use it as a car accessory because it looks cool on Instagram. I'm looking at you Kerala boys, I know what you guys do and I know you guys like that, but no, don't. The one thing though, which is the coolest thing in my opinion, and you know how I like those small things, right? I always keep saying it in my videos. Self-leveling badges on a Tiguan. I mean, isn't that just the coolest thing you've seen? It's almost like a phantom. Now before I start driving the car and telling you what the difference mechanically is, and there is a big difference, let me quickly take a time to settle down in the rear seat, because a lot of you do tell me that I don't sometimes give enough importance to the back seat. So let me be brief but tell you a little bit more. First and foremost, super comfortable in terms of the way the position is. Nice recline angle. This is reclined all the way, and then there are some thoughtful touches as well. So for example, you see how this is sort of spring loaded, so it stays up, and the middle seat belt buckle is at an angle so it doesn't poke the bum of the person who sits in the middle if it does have to. But strangely, it's not all well thought out. Now this particular car has been accessorized out by Volkswagen India, which has that little roof box on the top which completely takes away your view from the panoramic roof. It has a coat hanger, which I think is probably the stupidest car accessory ever made. And then it has this. Now this is a little table and you can flip it down, and it's a bit flimsy, and you've got a little cup holder in it. And then you've got this sort of little thing that pokes out, so that if you want to use your iPad or sorry, your laptop, or maybe use it as a bit of a table, you can adjust this. But it just feels just a little bit flimsy. It doesn't feel like it's been designed by the same people who actually designed the rest of the car. And that's strange, because VW Group normally has a little bit more attention to detail with whatever they do. So in my opinion, avoid these accessories. They'll probably end up just rattling for no reason. But otherwise, as a place to be in the back, this is really high end, really good. It just sort of ticks all the boxes of what a VW Group car should really be. High quality stuff. And there's a bit of felt in the side door panels as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, there is a big mechanical change that we do need to talk about, because sadly, and this is sad because there are quite a fair few fans of the Volkswagen Group diesel engine, the diesel is now gone. The VW Group in India just will not do a diesel anymore. And that's sad, because that was a really strong engine. It had a whole bunch of positives, although yes, that big negative about them cheating in the emissions scandal was a thing that not a lot of people liked. But nonetheless, petrol engine is now in the Tiguan, and this is the same engine that was in the Tiguan All-Space. So it's basically the 2-liter TSI petrol, turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine, 190 horsepower, 320 Newton meters of torque, and it is a strong boy. It just does things right. It doesn't need to be stressed out. It doesn't complain or moan. It just sort of hunkers down and does what it is supposed to do. If you just want to potter around the city comfortably, it does that smoothly in drive mode. If you want to drive it fast on the highway, it cruises like an absolute beast. I mean, triple-digit speeds are a joke for this car. And even if you want to go fast on like a bunch of twisty roads, it just does it. And again, I'm stuck behind a truck. All I have to do is pull down a couple of pedals, wait for a space, and just go for it. It even sounds good. You know what? This is just a great package, and it's even better considering the fact that it is all-wheel drive, and that extra bit of grip really does sometimes help if you are a bit of an enthusiast on a bit of a warpath across some corners. Now you expect it to be comfortable at this price, and it is. You expect it to be a typically VW product and handle well, and it does. Everything just seems to do what it's supposed to do and work, and that's what this car is all about. It just works for me. Now yes, I know at 31.99 lakh ex showroom it might be a bit of an expensive proposition, and I'm wondering why it is that much. I know everything is more expensive, the price of steel, etc., but nonetheless this is now a CKD, so it should have been a little bit more affordable. But even at that price, even then, it does make a little bit of sense. You know what? The only gripe I had is about the cool seats, and I'm genuinely trying to figure out what else I don't like about this car, and I can't think of a single reason. It's quite near perfection, this one. As a family car, as a runabout, as all the car you'd need, something like this just ticks all the boxes. Especially if you're not too fussed about the fact that it is still a VW at almost 40 lakhs.